About 10 years ago, I did an Alpha course. I didn't want to do it. I didn't see why I needed to do it. I've been a Christian for over 30 years and I went to church regularly. I didn't think it would or could make any difference to me. Well, a friend of mine was very keen for me to join and I didn't want to let her down. It started in the middle of winter and the first session was cancelled due to bad weather. The roads and pavements were very icy. Phew, I thought, that's a relief. Maybe it will never happen. The following week the weather was very similar, and after doing my stint in the Co-op bakery, I sat down to relax after dinner. I got a phone call from Caroline Walker, leader of the course and then curate of St Giles. She asked if I was coming down to the community centre, as there was leftover cake waiting for me. She knew I couldn't resist, so I got ready as quickly as I could and slithered my way down to the church. I received a warm welcome, and although I continued to attend for the next few weeks, I wasn't really bothered whether I went or not. However, that all changed about halfway through the course. We had a Holy Spirit away day at Rampton Ash Church. This was before they had carpet and heating installed, and it was absolutely freezing. By the middle of the day I couldn't feel my feet, and we couldn't even warm up the soup, so we ate it cold. Towards the end of the day there was an opportunity to be prayed over by Bishop John and others. People were having hands laid on them in the sanctuary, and although I was sitting on the front row, within touching distance of the action, and although I really wanted to go and receive prayer, I felt glued to my seat and I just couldn't pluck up courage to move forward. Nowadays I'd be at the front of the queue. In church the following day, Caroline Walker was taking the service, and I happened to be sitting next to her husband Michael, normally who had been at the front singing with the band, and I explained to him what had happened on the away day, and he said if I wanted to stay behind after the service, he and Caroline would pray for me. Well, she was so long saying goodbye to people at the door, I was really tempted to just leave, but I felt it was important that I stayed. And eventually Caroline was free, and she and Michael took me into the Lady Chapel and prayed over me. And I felt such an overwhelming sense of the Holy Spirit that I burst into tears of joy. I floated home afterwards, after popping into the community centre to share my news, which made it all seem real, and I was on a high for several days afterwards. Unfortunately, this euphoria didn't last forever, but since then I've had amazing experiences with God. But as well as the ups, there have also been downs, quite a few, over the last few years. But I've been on an amazing journey, sometimes difficult, but God has been with me all the way through good times and bad. He's helped me to do things I never in a million years thought I was capable of. Never in my wildest dreams did I expect that I would become a licensed evangelist a few years later. There's an awful lot happened to me since that morning in the Lady Chapel at St Giles. Probably enough material for several more thoughts for the day. I really became excited to turn up each week for the rest of the Alpha course, and I was really sad when it finished. But it wasn't the end, it was just the beginning. So I encourage you to join an Alpha course. It could change your life.